Let's also try the front-facing camera because we can see how much of a difference it makes. The other thing is that maybe it's a little bit distracting because I can see myself here, so I feel like naturally that I don't know, makes a difference. So yeah, dude, I've been having so much fun with Claude Code just because it just so quickly accelerates like first time to something visible, tangible, like just first time to something, you know? I think this is a pretty well-developed idea in theory, but I think in organizations it's usually not put to practice well enough. That, dude, theoretical battles are so fucking just, no, like going over in circles and circles and circles, talking about dumb theoretical battles when you can just put something on paper, you know? Just like, if you're gonna discuss this much, just why don't you just try something? Why don't you just do something so that everyone can like look at one common thing, have like build up a working consensus about the thing that you're working on, and then like pick at it from there. But when you're just thinking about the ideas in your head, then like everyone has a slightly different idea that you're trying to just convey through words, and information gets lost. And so then that's why you think you're talking about the same thing, but everyone has a slightly different idea in their heads of what they're talking about. And dude, it's just so annoying. So I feel like with Claude Code, it like, you know, when you feel like you're getting trapped in these theoretical battles, you can be like, here, like, is this what you're talking about? No? Okay. How about this? No? You know, keep going. Or, and actually that hasn't even happened to me. Like usually it usually goes something more along the lines of, oh, here, look, is this what you're talking about? And then they go, oh, wow, like that's interesting. Okay. And then here's when you know you got them. When they go, and can it do this? Or like, oh, and could it, do you think, it's so funny, like, this is, ooh, this guy just ran a red light. You weren't supposed to do that, my friend. Oh, there's an ambulance. So, hold on, I gotta, this ambulance is distracting, and I gotta make sure I'm not in the way of which way you're gonna go. Oh, never mind, you turned. Okay. That this is gonna sound condescending or emasculating, or I don't know how it's gonna sound. But it's I find it almost childlike, is what I'm trying to say, of the way people have reactions, the way people that don't know anything about programming or software, or, you know, because like they just have nothing to ground their intuition into on what's possible and what's not. So like it's almost like a child would be like, oh, we're going to the supermarket right now? Oh, well, on the way to the supermarket, could we maybe stop at Disneyland? And you have to be like, no, you know, Disneyland is, you know, far away and the supermarket is down the street. And they're like, oh, okay, well in that case, can we stop by the swing? And then it's just like, dude, you're going from like one side of the spectrum to the other so quickly. That's hilarious. And so I guess with that it'll be like, back to the actual business context thing, it'll be like, oh, and do you think we could add this filter? And it's like, yeah, we can add all the filters you want, buddy. Like, filters are like very true. Like, you know, you have the data, and you know, putting a filter is like one line. I mean, first of all, it's literally like 1 to 5 lines of code, and second of all, it's, you know, it's one very easy prompt in English. And so you're basically in human time, you're 15 seconds away from having any filter you want on the existing data, asterisk, on the existing data that you have, which might be trivial to say, but anyway. So then it would be like that, and they're like, yeah, we can put that filter, and be like, okay, and could we have, and then just like, oh, like it automatically decide this and send me a message on Teams and put it in this internal company database that I don't know is going to take, like the most difficult part of that is going to be having to talk with IT and getting the permissions and getting the configuration and like getting that set up like that. Like it's not really a technical thing, but I don't know that it's more of a bureaucracy thing and dealing with other people thing, and that it's going to take fucking 3 months to do something that in reality, in practice, once you get it right, takes 3 seconds. Yeah, so that's just like a funny thing. But yeah, so like I'm no expert on like the project management methods of like agile and waterfall or whatever, but my basic understanding, the gist I know is that like waterfall is, you get all your requirements up front and you like structure your whole thing, you make your little cute little Gantt charts, whatever makes you feel like you're in control, and definitely not going to go over time and whatnot and succumb to the planning fallacy. Okay, so you do that, and then agile is, you got your sprints, and it's more about like the vibe is more like, like the cycles, you have like rapid iteration, and your requirements change, and you iterate and whatever. But with that being said, in less like buzzwordy, less whatever, I think that what I'm describing is also like it's going on the vibe of what like agile is, right? It's like getting a first prototype, if you want to call it, like a first something in people's hands as soon as possible, so that you can create the shared consensus on whatever you're talking about, and then then they can actually point and be like, oh, and can we add this, or actually no, I don't really like this, no, this doesn't seem quite right, and then kind of like it's kind of like a sculpture. It's like one way is that you're just thinking in words. It's like you're trying to design a sculpture with a group, like a sculpture by committee. So you're designing a sculpture with, let's say, 5 people, and just in words, you're sitting around a table and you're thinking, I think the nose should slope downwards like this, and I think the fucking crevice of the muscle here should be like this, and then someone else is like, no, I don't, humans in practice don't really look that way, it might cause whatever, so like, but then one person has an idea of how it should look in their heads, and the other person has another, and like it's getting, like, information is getting lost there. Thank you for blessing me. And so that's one way, and then the other way is like, okay, let's start with this big mold of clay that's like vaguely, I'm gonna like vaguely give the outline of a head and a nose and a shoulder, and give a vaguely humanoid form. And so then you can sit with your 4 friends and you can be, okay, well, let's talk with the nose. Like, here's what I was thinking. And then you shape the clay or whatever. I don't know how the fuck you make I guess sculptures can be made of different materials, right? But whatever, you know what I mean. So you take the nose and you're like, I was thinking something like this. And then that way it's like physical, and then that the other people can like see exactly what you're thinking of. And they'll be like, and so then maybe they'll be like, oh, I can see where you were going with this, but I'm thinking, look at the ears. Maybe have you thought about like how it might be like how compatible it is with the ears? Maybe this type of nose that you're thinking of, like, it's cool, but since we already have the ears shaped this other way, maybe we could like give the nose a slight little tweak like this, and look now, look at how much better it looks with the ears. And then you go, oh, you know what, that's a good point, thanks. But yeah, like, it's just, I guess the gist of this is just like, it's so much more productive, the discussions you'll have are so much more elevated when you're all thinking and looking at the same thing and something like tangible versus theoretical battles. Basically, fuck theoretical battles. It's just annoying as fuck. Okay, that's that. I'm gonna listen to music for the rest of my commute. Bye bye.